These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest. It's time to achieve your financial ambitions. Earn more on your savings with a SoFi Bank high-yield savings account. Ditch your high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. Or start investing on an easy-to-use platform with SoFi Invest. Wherever you are on your financial journey, SoFi's got you covered. Learn more at SoFi.com/SXM.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this right here,
Yeah, this.
it's morbid.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
So, yeah.
Welcome to it.
Hey.
It's an Ashcentric episode.
Woohoo.
And whoo boy.
I would like to not call this an
I was gonna
Ashcentric
say,
episode. This is simply an episode.
I don't know if you want this to be labeled with your name on it, but whoo boy.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Colleen Stan, also known as the girl in the box case.
This one was chosen by our Patreons.
It was.
You guys.
You guys, I mean, I did present you with 2 options.
It's
so
true. It's true.
Both were equally as rough.
Yeah.
I don't really think we have any business, so.
I don't think we do. I cut my hair.
Oh, me too.
I chopped my hair off.
I know, we're kind of like twins now.
We kind of are.
You're just red and I'm
That's important.
brownish, blondish.
I just thought it was important to tell you guys
It
that.
is. You look super, I don't want to say cute because I feel like I hate when people
But I
call me
appreciate
cute.
that.
But you look very,
I went Bethany Frankel
yes.
when she got her bob.
Because we've been
That's what I went
rewatching old Housewives episodes.
At night when I research, I just have New York Housewives on in the background.
Me too. In fact, I had to start turning it off because I would get distracted.
Yeah.
I need to.
It's soothing.
The ADD that runs throughout me. I have to put on golf. I was putting on golf for a while when I researched because I have to have something in the background. I can't research in a dead quiet room.
Yeah, I need something.
But then I even started watching golf.
I mean, that makes sense. That's a good strategy, I think.
Yeah, but then I started watching it, so it wasn't such a great strategy. I wasn't really invested, but
Well, whatever.
yeah.
But I don't, yeah, other than that groundbreaking news, I don't think there's anything I really want to touch upon today.
I don't think so. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right. First and foremost, this is going to be a very rough one to sit through. This involves a lot of sexual assault. This involves, a lot of abuse. This involves, a lot of, like, really, 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 this involves just a lot. So just be warned that if you're claustrophobic or anything like that, this might not be for you.
And then it has like a like really messed up version of what they like refer to as BDSM, but it's like not at all.
Here's the thing. This is not BDSM even in the slightest.
Exactly.
The defense wanted it to be, like they wanted to paint it in that light, but I'm pretty sure anybody involved in the BDSM community would hold their middle fingers up and be like, yeah, no. Yeah,
because it's not.
Because this person, basically what we'll see is that the person that kidnaps Colleen likes doing bondage acts on women, but he doesn't like to do them on consenting women.
Which is, in everybody who I've talked to in the BDSM community, consent is a large part of that.
Huge.
So I think that right there shows that there's a very big difference.
Yeah, and we'll get into it.
Just wanted to point that out, just so it's not like shown in a light. You know what I mean? Like,
I would never want
upon a whole community's kink in like a way that seems like this is it, because it's not.
This ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it.
This ain't it. So Colleen Stan. Colleen Stan was born to her parents Jack and Evelyn on New Year's Eve, 1956. She was the oldest of 3 daughters who were all raised in Riverside, California. And from a young age, Colleen was like super creative. She loved to write poetry, but she wasn't necessarily a school person like me. I hated school. I consider myself pretty creative.
Very creative.
But not a school person. Now, she dropped out when she turned 16, and she had been dating a man around that time, and she believed that they loved each other, so they got married, and she moved away with him, but things only lasted about a year, and they ended up divorced, and she returned home to California.
Okay.
So when she moved home, she met this couple named Bob and Alice from Oregon, and they had a 2-year-old daughter who Colleen absolutely loved, and she just really hit it off with this like little family. Oh. And she had just like gone through a divorce and everything. It was almost like looking at what she could have had.
Yeah,
so she kind of
what
attached
she was
herself.
looking to have.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, after a while of friendship, they all decided to get a place together back in Oregon. So that's like the first part of it.
Okay.
On Thursday, May 19th, 1977, Colleen told Bob and Alice that she was going to head out to California to surprise her friend Linda for her birthday. Now, they would drive her some of the way, and then she would hitchhike the rest of the way.
Oh,
all right.
There it is.
We've literally talked about hitchhiking cases so many times.
So much.
So, I think we all know too, like around this time, it was a very normal thing.
Yeah.
And this was something that Colleen had done plenty of times.
Of course.
It was
the time.
It was the time. She felt like she was a good judge of character. She felt like she knew which cars were good to get into, which ones weren't, the whole shebang. So Bob and Alice drove her as far as they were going to. She was like, thanks, I'll be back on Saturday. See you then.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
It's
Saturday.
Like in Scream when you say, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
You don't say it.
No, you can't say it. Now, Saturday came and went without Colleen's return. So Alice like gave it a few days, and she was like, oh, maybe she made her trip longer because her mom lives around there. So maybe she like added like a little time to see her mom. But then still, she didn't come back. So Alice called Evelyn and she told her, like, hey, is Colleen there, And Evelyn, her mom was like, no, I haven't seen her. I haven't heard from her. Like, is she supposed to be here?
Yeah. And there's no cell phones. So it's not like you can like text her.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's always so like crazy to us.
The 70s cases, I'm always like, oh my God, because what the fuck were you supposed to do?
How did anyone know where anyone was at any given time?
And how did you know how to go places without your fucking GPS?
I mean, we used MapQuest printout, and that was hard enough.
I was like, not in the 70s, sister. So, now Evelyn and Alice are even more worried. So they call the police in Westwood, California, where Linda lived. Now, because Linda didn't have a phone, so they couldn't call Linda.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so the police tracked down Linda, and they learned that Colleen had never made it to Westwood to surprise Linda, and Linda hadn't heard from her in a while either. So
that's not good.
Where the fuck is Colleen? So
what happened between home and there?
What happened? So let's go back to Thursday, May 19th. After Bob and Alice dropped Colleen off on the freeway, Colleen took 2 rides, and she was super close to her destination, Westwood. I think she was like about 100 miles away. And if she picked the right car, she might only need to use her judgment on one more car to finish up the trip. And like I said, she felt like she was a good judge of character when it came to hitchhiking. And actually on this day, she had already turned down 2 car rides.
Really? Like based off of she didn't get a good vibe?
Yeah, she just didn't get a good vibe. One car was full of like younger men, and she knew way better than to only be the only woman in the car.
Yeah, no.
And I'm not sure about the other one, but she was just like, nah, like, you know.
Yeah, the vibes weren't there.
Got a vibe check.
Yeah.
Now, the ride she did accept to go the rest of the way seemed like a smart choice. This was a blue 2-door Dodge Colt pulled up right next to her on the side of the highway. Offer her a ride. There's a young man driving, and in the passenger seat, there's a woman holding a baby. So, of course, you know, there's a baby.
There's a baby.
And a woman, so you're safe. And these adults seem to be around Colleen's age. So she said, yep, like, let's do it. Thanks for stopping to get me.
That's a tale as old as time that they use a woman or a kid.
It's so sad. Or even not even like physically there, but like toys in the backseat or a carriage or what's it called? A car seat.
Yeah, which
so creepy.
That's abhorrent.
Oh yeah. Now, the woman got out to let Colleen in the car and they were off. So at first they made like casual conversation. They talked about the area, and the driver mentioned that his brother had told him about some cool ice caves nearby. So they talked about where Colleen was headed off to. She told them her friend didn't know that she was coming. She was surprising her for a trip.
Oh.
And
you wouldn't even think of it.
No, of course not.
You don't even think of it until hindsight.
Oh, I'm just going to surprise my friend.
But
you don't even think of it.
Someone's expecting me.
Right.
Always say it.
Right. And I shouldn't say she told them. I'm just, I think she said like, I'm surprising my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the driver noticed that she was really jumpy. Like whenever he would talk to her, she'd jump a little. And he noticed, she noticed herself that when they weren't talking, he kept looking at her in the rearview mirror. And she was like just getting like a weird vibe about it.
Like sizing her up.
Yeah. And something about that felt off to her. And actually they stopped to get gas and she went in to use the bathroom. And she later said that when she was in the bathroom, she was thinking to herself, something about this doesn't feel right. Like I could jump out that window and run away. Like I don't need to get back in that car. But she pushed the voice down.
No.
She was so close to her trip. These people had a baby in the car. What were they going to do to her?
Oh, man.
So she got back in the car and the driver brought up those ice caves again. And he asked her, would you mind taking a little detour? We can go check them out and, we'll still make good time. And she was like, I'm not really in any position to take the lead on where we're going. So, she's the one that needs to be driven.
She needs the ride. But this is another thing. It's like the Myra Hindley and Aidan Brady thing. Do you mind if we stop real quick and just look for this?
Just have to look for something.
Detour.
Right. But I mean, this is even different because she's like, oh, cool, ice caves.
Yeah,
like,
that's what they do. Like, let's stop here real quick. I just got to do something, or we should see
want to show you something cool.
It's just like,
So the driver started heading out toward those caves, and the caves were off a beaten path, he said. Don't worry about the dirt road. Nothing to see here. It's all good.
Totally fine.
So they're driving down this dirt road and Colleen's like, I don't see any caves. And then the car stops and the woman gets out with her baby and just like walks up ahead. I think there was like a stream.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
And she's like, like, what? But she doesn't have any time to ask where they were, because out of nowhere, the man driving gets out of the car, climbs into the back seat with her, holds her at knife point, like whips out a knife and holds it to her. He tells her, shut up, put your hands in the air, and he handcuffs her.
No.
Then he blindfolds her, he gags her, and he takes this wooden box that had been sitting next to her all along that she kind of looked at but like didn't think much about, takes it and puts it over her head.
What the fuck?
Now, this is a 20-pound box. It was padded on the inside so that she could barely hear anything and definitely obviously couldn't see anything. She could barely even hold her head up. Not that he wanted her to anyway, because he told her to lay down in the back seat and he covered her up with her own sleeping bag.
I'm already like, I'm out.
Yeah, it's
I'm already
terrifying.
like, I can't
A
deal with
box
this.
over your head.
In like a box that like
was sitting
who
next
made
to
this
you.
box that was just sitting next to me this entire time.
Right. And like, I don't know, she's probably thinking it's like a crate or something, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
you're definitely not thinking he's going to put that over my head after he handcuffs me.
right. And this box like latched closed. Like this was not just like a box that was like balanced over her head.
Yeah.
This had like a place for her head. It was padded on the inside. She could barely breathe. It was
That
horrible.
horrifies me. And I was trying to think, there was like one ghost in that movie, the 13 Ghosts, which I love that movie, that had a box on its head, and it always freaked me out. And
Yeah.
it just made me think of it.
I'm very claustrophobic. The entire time that I was researching this, I kept being like,
Just take deep breaths. 'Cause, like that's the thing. It's like, oh,
yeah, like even now I'm like,
yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
no. So the man driving was 23-year-old Cameron Hooker, and the passenger was his wife, Janice. And the baby she was holding was real. It was their baby that they had just recently had together along for this ride.
Oh, God.
Now, Janice had met Cameron when she was 15 years old. She was a freshman in high school and he was 19, and he was working at a nearby mill. He was like a mill worker. Their relationship started off basically as most grooming relationships do. Cameron made Janice feel special, he doted on her, he took her on dates, and he'd give her little gifts from time to time. He seemed like the perfect guy. And she wasn't abused physically at home, but she was definitely like emotionally neglected. Mm-hmm. She was the youngest of 4 kids, and her parents just like didn't pay any attention to her, it seemed like. Her dad actually kept his distance from her, and she felt it was because that she suffered from epilepsy when she was younger.
Oh.
And she thought that he thought that she was possessed by demons.
Wow.
And that's why he stayed away from her.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
That's real fucked up.
The usual. Now, her mom left most of the responsibility of taking care of Janice to Janice's older sister, Lisa. And she really only interacted with Janice to tell her if she was disappointed in her because she was stupid, or when she did something wrong. So she had
Wow.
like no relationship with her mom.
Why? Oh, I never get that.
I don't get it either. Now, obviously, it seems like she was really set up to look for validation outside of her family.
Yeah.
And it's pretty typical that she found it in an older male giving her attention.
Of course.
Now, so she ignored a lot of the things that she didn't like about Cameron and tried to focus on the good stuff. And she did things that she usually wouldn't have because she was afraid to lose this person that she thought was like the only one out there who loved her or cared about her. And actually, Janice's parents really loved Cameron, so they let her marry him when she was 16 in January 1975.
Of course they did, because they were like, now you're out of our hair.
Right, exactly. And actually, she remembered being like, because her older sister Lisa had wanted to get married or something like that when she was 16, but she had to wait until she was 18. So Janice was like, interesting that like when I was 16.
That you're scooting me out the door.
Yeah, she was
to
like,
this older man who, wow.
yeah, that's exactly how she felt. And it's interesting that she dropped out and got married at 16, just like Colleen had.
Yeah.
So they had like something
That
in
is, I know,
common.
because I was like, this does sound familiar.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Cameron Hooker. He was born November 5th, 1953 in California to parents Harold and Lorena. Harold worked in construction, and the family like moved around a ton. So Cameron and his younger brother Dexter, they never really had the chance to make lasting connections with other friends, or honestly really make friends. But other than moving around a lot, there's really no evidence of any other kind of chaos in the Hooker household. There's no reports of abuse or anything like that. And everyone who knew the parents said that they were just hard workers who seemed to love their children.
So it definitely doesn't come off as like a full on, like, oh, this is what happened.
This is why.
You know?
It's funny because we just finished the Willie Picton case, and I remember when we were doing that, I was like, oh, so that's why he's like this.
Yeah, it was like pretty easy to point out, like, yeah, there's a lot of disarray here.
Right.
And a lot of neglect and abuse. And
right.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about this case, and I'm like, there's really not anything to point out
it's not
for
the same thing.
what happened to Cameron. I mean, moving around a lot can be like tough when you're younger, but
for sure.
I moved around a lot when I was younger.
Plenty of kids move around and don't do this.
Exactly. So finally, the family settled down near Red Bluff, California when Cameron was 16. So now he had the chance to make friends or like join the community in some way, like join a, basketball team, whatever have you. But he didn't want to do that. And it didn't seem like he was bullied, but he really didn't have a lot of friends, and he was kind of like on the outskirts. Like he wasn't super cool or anything, but he seemed like somebody who just wanted to be by himself. And I mean, at that point, it had been working for him for 16 years. So like, why change that now?
Yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. He knows that he can just chill by himself. So, why change that? But what did change was Cameron, like most 16-year-old boys, was thinking about sex and women and figuring out what he liked and, the whole shebang. I'm going to say that like 85 times.
The whole shebang.
But it was then that he really took an interest in bondage, which, like I said in the beginning, obviously that's totally fine as long as both parties involved are willing participants.
Yeah, absolutely. Consent is very necessary, vital,
Consent
one might say.
is key.
Yes.
But that was the part that Cameron didn't really like that much.
Yeah, that's when it's a problem.
Yeah. So when he met Janice, like I said, she was 15 and he was 19, and now he had someone to experiment with. But when he brought up some of the ideas that he had to Janice about like giving bondage a try, she just wasn't into it. She didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But he soothed her by telling her like it's nothing to be afraid of, and he pressured her and was like, I've done this with my other girlfriends, and they all let me do it and they were fine.
Oh, of course.
So she's like, he's like, if you're not interested, like I don't know if it's gonna work out between us.
Oh.
So she, obviously not wanting to lose the one person she had, she's like, all right, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, you don't want to be the only girlfriend who didn't do it.
Especially at 15. Yeah, like you're so impressionable.
That's easy. That kind of peer pressure, quote unquote.
Perfect.
Is exactly what happens.
Yeah. So Cameron would take her into the woods and hang her from trees by her wrists. And he would use handcuffs that he made himself. He would take photos of her naked in the positions that
she's 15.
He put her in. He would
not okay on every level.
No, not at all. He would whip her until and he would like make welts on her body. And I read this wicked good book. I use like a ton of other sources too that I'll put in the show notes, but the one I really want to talk about the most is this book, The Perfect Victim. It was actually written by Christine McGuire, who was the prosecutor on this case later on.
That's so cool.
And it was co-written by her and Carla Norton. Now, according to that book, Perfect Victim, there was one occasion where Cameron wanted to tie Janice up and dunk her in a nearby creek.
What?
Yeah, he really liked to involve water in a lot of his things.
Ooh, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. Now, by this point, she had endured everything else, and she didn't want to upset him, so she said, sure. Now, when they did it the first time, she almost drowned. Like, I don't know exactly what happened, but she was like, okay, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
And now, the authors point out that Janice didn't ever enjoy the bondage aspect of her relationship with Cameron, but what she did look forward to, and kind of like it was the way that she got through everything, was that when they were done and he would untie her or take her handcuffs off her wrists and like he'd hold her and kind of dote upon her.
Yeah, like basically pat her on the back and say, good job.
Yeah, and he became like this totally different person, and he was like the Cameron that she met.
And that makes sense because it's like her parents, the only time they would communicate with her was to tell her like you fucked up or you're dumb or you're this or you're that.
Right.
So to have this guy, even if it's that little part where he will tell you that you're great and you did awesome and like thank you for doing that. And,
that's
like,
what she's
on you,
been looking for.
That's all she needs to sustain her.
Right.
She'll take the abuse or the whatever else is happening. Mm-hmm. That's just really sad.
It is sad. And I mean, the book is called Perfect Victim because like they were pointing out Colleen was like the perfect victim for him. Mm-hmm. But honestly, Janice was also the perfect victim for him.
She was a child. I mean, that's a 15-year-old here.
Right. So like I said, they got married. And once they were married, they continued this kind of sex life together. But Janice was really getting tired of it. And what she really wanted to do was be a mom. She wanted to have a baby. And she knew that obviously this wouldn't be able to continue to go on while she's pregnant. So, that seemed like a win-win for her. She could make this not happen and also have a baby. But Cameron was like, no, I'm not happy. And at this point, he needs this. He's like addicted to it, basically.
Oh, no.
This kind of sex.
Yeah.
And so he didn't read very well, I guess. Like, he wasn't a very good reader, but he had every porno magazine that you could imagine. And he liked the darker ones that talked about female slavery and showed like a lot of very bleak, dark pictures. So he didn't really need to read. He could just check out the pictures and kind of gather what he needed. And he wanted to try some of this new stuff with Janice. But she would cry or like beg him not to, and he was getting tired of doing everything with her. So he wanted to do it with somebody that like
somebody who would not give him grief.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and
like a Jeffrey Dahmer-esque.
And I
want a
think
sex zombie.
He's the kind of person that is never going to be happy with just one woman doing this. He wants to do this to different women throughout his
that makes sense.
life. Now, at this point, he's getting mad and violent with her. He threatened to kill her and actually told her exactly how he would do it. And he was just keeping her beneath him or too afraid to leave him or to confide in anybody about her situation. Not that she really had anybody to tell anyways.
Yeah.
So she's like really in a bad position. And he's devouring these underground magazines more and more often. And like I said, he's talking about enslaving a non-willing female, and he starts bringing that idea up to Janice. So shockingly enough, they come to a deal. If she could have a baby, she would allow him to keep a, quote, sex slave. But the deal was, so they, like, he could do that and she would have a baby. But she said, I don't want you to engage in penetrative, how do you say that?
You're right.
Penetrative sex with the woman. Like, you can do whatever you want, but don't have like quote unquote sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is sad and fucked up in every way that it could be.
It really is.
Like the fact that she's like, just please let me have a baby and then you can do this. And she's also just being like, and here are the rules for this. Like,
I love you. Like, don't
so
cheat on me per se.
Levels of just sadness and darkness and bleakness here. That's just like, woof.
And it's hard, like dissecting this case because you want to be mad at Janice, but then like you said, you keep going back to it and you're like, she was 15.
Yeah,
she was 15.
She
was like
insane.
Brainwashed.
That's really insane.
Yeah. So now it was up to Cameron to figure out a way to make this fantasy a reality. So he apparently considered putting a listing in one of these magazines because you could do that. Like,
yeah.
But there were too many problems with that situation the more he thought about it. And his main goal, I can't emphasize this point enough because it's the differentiating factor between Cameron and the BDSM community.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
Was that this woman be unwilling. So
that's the thing.
When you're putting an ad in a magazine, you're getting a woman that's like, sure. And the perfect victim points out she probably would want to be paid, obviously.
Yeah. And it's like, there's absolutely people who will like engage in like rape fantasies with someone, you know what I mean? Like, where if that's what he was looking for, it's like, it may not be everybody's thing, but it's some people's thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, but here, it's very clear that that's not enough for him.
No.
He's not looking for someone to participate in a fantasy. He's looking for someone to participate in rape.
Exactly.
That's what he's looking for.
He needs to make it his reality. He wants to be a predator.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a kidnapping seemed more fit for his fantasy than a magazine listing. So he started hunting. So he would drive around looking for a victim, a lot of times bringing Janice with him for obvious reasons, because a woman's going to get into your car if she sees a woman.
It's a little bit of comfort.
And at this point, she's pregnant. So you're getting into a pregnant woman's car. Like,
yeah.
You're not thinking anything's going to happen.
What could they possibly do?
And then soon enough, she gave birth to the baby. So the baby would come with this, like, horrible hunting trip. So he would take pictures of women, and at home, he was preparing that head box for when he found the right woman. Now, the basement of his and Janice's rented home would be where he kept his, like, captive. And he was working on more than just the head box. The basement had a rack that he built himself. And when I say rack, I'm not saying, like, a drying rack. Like,
oh, no. Like,
this was
the rack.
The medieval torture rack. Like, he made one himself.
And I know that, like, in BDSM, there's, like, rack type things. But I imagine his was not something that anyone would enjoy.
No, definitely not. There were also hooks that he installed to the ceiling so that women could be hung down there. He basically just started making like a dungeon, if you will.
Like a sex dungeon. Yeah.
Now, flash forward again to May 19th, 1977. Colleen has now been kidnapped and is lying in the back of the blue Dodge Colt with Cameron driving and Janice holding the baby in the passenger seat.
Oh my God.
So Colleen obviously couldn't hear or see much with the head box fixed to her head, and she could also barely breathe, but she could tell that the car stopped driving and someone took the box off of her head and she smelled food. And she still couldn't see, but she knew that the people who had just fucking kidnapped her were now sitting in the car with their baby, eating cheeseburgers.
Oh.
Just like eating fast food.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, like they're just finishing up a day of errands or like a day of fun and they need
you're hungry. You
grab a bite to eat.
You gotta stop and grab something to eat.
Like what?
No. Like,
what?
This case.
It's nuts. And obviously, the other reason why they're eating, I think, is because they were waiting for the sun to go down so they can get her in the house without
because you can't just
looking.
carry, this woman in a sleeping bag with a box on her head.
No.
Into your house without neighbors being like, "What's happening there, Joe?
Hey, what are you doing?
What's going on?
What's up, Cameron?"
Hey,
yeah. So
what's happening here?
They let her sit up for a little bit. They finish up their cheeseburgers, and then when they're done, the head box was put back on Colleen, and the next time the car stopped, they were at the couple's house.
Whew.
Now, 1140 Oak Street is where Colleen would spend the first part of her captivity. This is where it's going to start to get dark. Just so everybody knows, I'm not going into full detail about everything. I'm going to kind of overview things, and if you would like a more in-depth into this description, you should definitely read The Perfect Victim.
Yeah.
There's some things I can't even like say out loud,
Yeah, there's a lot.
like personally.
For sure.
So when they pulled up to the home, it was dark and there weren't neighbors really close enough to tell like anything like this was going on. Like if it was daylight, they would see, but the neighbors were far enough that at night they wouldn't see.
Yeah.
So again, the head box is taken off and Colleen is led into the house. Cameron takes her down to the basement while Janice settled the baby upstairs, which...
Yeah, you got to put the baby to bed.
What?
Yeah.
So trigger warning, we're going to get into the dark stuff. Immediately, Colleen was hung to the ceiling. She was still blindfolded, and now Cameron stripped off all her clothing and immediately began whipping her. He beats her and he sexually assaults her, and she blacks out.
Poor girl.
Oh my God, it's horrific. And that is a brief overview.
That's your entrance into the house.
Oh, and it's only going to get more bleak because she blacks out from the pain. And when she wakes up, and I cannot express to you how fucking foul this is, she wakes up to the couple having sex underneath her while she's still hanging from the ceiling.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm going to see a lot of this coming, but I really didn't see that coming.
No. So she wakes up and they're literally having sex beneath her feet.
Foul is a perfect way to describe that.
There's no other word
I think you really nailed that
I can think of to describe that.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah. So when they were done, Janice hurried back upstairs and Cameron took Colleen off the ceiling. And now he placed her into another box. This box was apparently 3 feet high. Her arms were chained to the top of that box, and this separate head box was placed on top and closed around her head. Now this time she tried to kick because she's like, I am trying to do anything, you know? Like,
yeah,
anybody would do that. I think that's like your first human instinct.
Absolutely.
He comes back and ties her feet to the box so she can't kick.
So now her arms and her feet are shackled, and there's a box on top of her head, and she is in another box.
Yes.
Whew.
It's so
I
hard
keep having
to
to
even
take like deep breaths because I'm like, whoa.
Well, why don't you go ahead and take another one?
Claustrophobia here is just next level.
You should take another deep breath for this next part. So yes, like you said, her head is in one box. Her body is in like, it seems like half of another box. It was a little hard to decipher. Mm-hmm. And then he comes back and ties her feet, and she's like, I can't breathe in here. Like, please, like, let me go. Like, I can't breathe. He doesn't say this entire time. He hasn't said a word to her. Oh. So his response was that he came back and tied something around her chest and rib area to make it even harder to breathe. Oh. And then just left. Oh, excuse me. Then this is horrible. Placed something between her legs and went upstairs. Now, the device that he put between her legs was actually meant to shock her throughout the night. Like, send little, like, shocks throughout her body. Luckily, I hesitate to say luckily, but it wasn't working. So that nothing happened.
But that was the intention.
It's all
about intention.
Oh, my God, absolutely. Oh. And then throughout the first night, he would come down and, like, place his hand on her back, and she had been put into the box face first. So from the neck down, her back was exposed. So all throughout the night, he would just go and put a hand on her back. Mm. And The Perfect Victim, that book, was like saying she didn't know if it was to scare her or to check and see if she was still alive.
It was probably a little bit of both, I would imagine.
That's literally exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
So that's her first night.
Oh.
Absolutely horrible. And like I said, that's a brief overview of her first night.
And that's stuff that, like, if you saw that in a horror movie, you'd be like, all right.
Like, that's too much.
Like, you've gone too far. That's just like, you know,
Yeah.
Who fathoms that?
Cameron Hooker. Ooh. And we're going to get worse. So the next day, without saying a word again, Cameron came down and moved Colleen from the boxes, and he fastened her to the rack. Now, for the next week or so, she would be between the rack and the box, and sometimes Cameron would also be in the basement with her, not talking to her, just building something.
So he's just building over in the corner and she's just hanging on something?
Literally. Like, she's just like being held like against her will in the basement while he's just building around her. And she's sitting there wondering, I mean, now she's probably putting 2 and 2 together. Like, did he build these boxes that he's putting me in? So what the fuck is he building now?
Yeah, like, what is he going to do now?
Now, what he was building was the box that Colleen would be living in for the next 7 years of her life.
This is the thing that just, my mind can't wrap around it.
7 years.
These kind of things, it's like the same as like the Cleveland kidnappings with like 11 years. It's like when you look at a picture of like the sun and how many Earths can fit inside the sun, and you're like, no, my brain literally, that does not compute.
No,
like, my brain can't wrap around it. It just shuts off.
Yeah.
That's how these kind of things work with me. It's like 7 years. I can't even
fathom.
Doesn't happen. Because my brain does not compute.
Even right now, I feel like I'm too overwhelmed to think about what I was doing 7 years ago.
I literally was just thinking, I was like, 7 years ago, I can't even like.
I don't even know how old I was because I can't do the quick math.
But it was a lot.
Now. But like, I was a totally different person back then.
And there was just a lot that happened between now and 7 years ago.
Your kids weren't even born. Right? Right? Now you got 3 of those suckers.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So think about what could have happened to Colleen in 7 years of her life.
Goodness.
Now, so the box was double walled. So there's like it's like a box on the outside, and then there's another like box essentially on the inside.
Jeez.
So obviously nobody can hear her. It was 6 feet long and 3 feet high, so not big at all. Also literally a casket, but like smaller. And he lined it with the sleeping bag that Colleen had brought for her trip to Linda's. Yup. Cameron chained Colleen into the box and kept her blindfolded and naked. So he's putting her into this box, blindfolded and naked, chained to the box. And before placing the cover on the top, he does one last horrifying fucking thing that will send your spine to just like exit your body. I don't know why this like hit me so hard. He put earplugs in her ears and then covered the box.
The sensory deprivation.
Yes.
Is so deep.
That's like war torture.
It literally is.
It's, I don't want to say worse, but it's like that, but almost like different.
But like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's so much. So for the first number of years, she was kept in the box in the basement, on the rack, or hung from the ceiling and just completely brutalized. She was let out to eat, and when Cameron felt like abusing her.
And it's like, meanwhile, this entire time, they've got a 7-year-old now. Like, they've got a kid. They've got a kid living in this house, just growing up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get into that, too, because Colleen spent 7 years in the box, but there were times where she was out of the box, and we'll get into, she ends up building a relationship with these children.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So, like I said, she was let out to eat, and when Cameron felt like letting her, and when he wanted to abuse her. And a few months in, Cameron made her start helping him build a workroom underneath the stairs. So, like, literally, like, think Harry Potter.
Wow.
And he made her do this blindfolded. So she's working blindfolded because she can't see his face.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm not helpful to you.
But she figured it out because if she didn't do things right, obviously there was quote unquote punishments.
And it's like she already saw his face when she got in the car.
Yeah, but think about like the horrifying, like...
Yeah, but it's like, it's just so stupid.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, so she was kept in the workroom a lot of the time once they were finished building it. And finally, he gave her a nightgown to wear. But she had to stay blindfolded when he came down to give her her orders. First, he made her do like a lot of weird shit in the workroom. Like the first thing he made her do was he gave her like a shit ton of walnuts and made her like take the shells off of them.
Fuck.
I don't know if it was just like what he...
If that was some weird like...
thought of that day.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I think it hurts, I would think, after a while,
yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's some kind of torture.
Ooh.
But then he would have her make, I think is it macrame? Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Macrame and crochet things. Okay. And then she was like pretty good at it. So him and Janice would go sell that shit at local markets so that they could make money.
That their like prisoner was making for them.
Literally.
Wow. Okay.
Literally. So she's like a full-blown slave at this point because she's just making things for them and like...
She's a full-blown like, wow. So there's people in the world right now that have crochet and macrame that this woman
that Colleen Stan
was
did.
making under the stairs as she was like shackled to a wall.
Yeah, think twice before you buy something macrame.
Wow.
No, I'm totally kidding. So when she wasn't in the work...
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing, though. Their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to Teacher List, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just, honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
She was in one of the other contraptions. Trigger warning. He burned her. He electrocuted her. He stretched her on the rack, like beyond the, like she's had shoulder problems and like back problems for the rest of her life.
Sure.
And that's just like, to say the least.
This is like toy box killer shit.
It is. It's
very reminiscent.
It's very reminiscent of Toy Box Killer, and it's very reminiscent of, like you said, the Cleveland kidnappings.
It's like a mishmash of all of them.
Yeah. So on January 25th, 1978, we're 8 months into her captivity, and Cameron comes down with Janice to the basement. Now, he told Colleen to take off her blindfold, which immediately she's probably like, why? Like,
I'd be like, I'm gonna die now.
If I'm gonna see your face, like that means you're killing me, or who knows?
You're either killing me or you are never planning on letting me leave. Like, this is the end.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what was going on. So she takes off her blindfold and he hands her a contract. Now, the contract stated that she would now be known as K, the letter K, and that she was his property. She was to refer to him as sir or master, and she was supposed to do anything he wanted her to. There's a ton of crude things in there, and cruel things that I'm not going to go into all of it, but I'll name a few things. She was never to cross her legs in front of him. She was not allowed to wear underwear. She also had to wear a collar for identification purposes, and we'll get into that in a second. And those are the three that I'm going to mostly focus on.
It reminds me of like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like non-willing.
But with like a non-willing participant.
Right. Now, the contract actually came from an underground newspaper. Like, it was something that was apparently going on in that world. And Cameron realized, oh, this is brilliant. So he tried different ways of duplicating it. And finally, he settled on having Janice type it up on her typewriter. And then he went by the alias Michael Powers, and Janice, was to sign the contract as a witness.
Okay.
Now, he made the header of the contract using calligraphy stencils that he had bought solely for this project.
He's extra as fuck.
He
really is.
He's also, unfortunately, very handy. And
yeah.
He builds everything that he has put Colleen in, he's built.
That sucks that he uses that for that.
Yeah, because he could,
like, damn,
be a lot better. So to get Colleen to believe this whole thing is real, I mean, she's probably so terrified that he didn't even have to, but he needs to wrap her mind in terror. So he tells her about the company. Okay. According to Cameron, the company was an underground organization that traded around enslaved females and made them lifelong sex slaves. He told Colleen that he had been raised in the company, actually, and that his father and brother were fellow members. If she tried to escape, the company would find her. If she tried to tell her family, the company would kill the family that she told and recapture her.
And honestly, I get why this would be easy to convince someone of, because it's like,
especially by this point,
is a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, if I heard that and I was in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, this
Holy
is 100% true.
Well, and I think he showed her an article from one of the magazines, so she's like, oh my God, like, this is real.
I would believe that, yeah.
Yeah, and to even further solidify her belief, he told her that Janice had actually tried to escape. At this point, she didn't know Janice by Janice. He used a different name. And he said that when she was running away, she flagged down a police officer, and the police officer she thought was going to drive her home. But the police officer was actually part of the company.
Oh, fuck.
So he picked her up and returned her. And he and the other members nailed her to a cross-like structure through her knees and hands and tortured her, obviously. And that he had been the one to save her. And she underwent a ton of surgeries to fix her hands, but her knees were still messed up. And while he's telling her this, Janice is standing next to him wearing a knee brace. Because in all reality,
my God.
Janice actually had a knee condition that was like, I think it was like congenital. Yeah. I think her dad passed down some kind of condition with her knee. So that's the real reason she was wearing a brace. But Colleen didn't know that. So it just seemed like further proof that there was no way out of this.
My goodness.
So what was she supposed to do?
This is grotesque.
She signs the contract, and immediately he puts a homemade collar on her and gives her an identification card that he had made but sealed with like the company seal to look effective.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, I say that he's extra.
And then he just leaves her in the workroom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So signing the contract did allow for some quote unquote freedom. She was allowed upstairs to cook for the family.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, right. She could work in the gardens. She had to clean the children's homes and just the home in general. And of course had to oblige to any sexual activity that Cameron wanted when he wanted. And he would actually do like drills with her where he would like say a certain word and she had to strip naked and be in whatever position that he wanted her to be in right away within seconds.
Wow.
And if she didn't do it fast enough, he would abuse her for like hours.
Okay.
Now, during this period, she was mostly allowed to sleep in the workroom, which is a better place to sleep than the box, but no place to sleep at all. Now, for a few days, she was kept in the workroom without anyone coming down to give her, because usually they would give her leftovers from dinner and a glass of water. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if she like didn't eat all of it, he would force her to eat it.
Oh.
Yeah, but she didn't get her meals for a couple days, and she's hearing a lot of commotion upstairs, so she's like, what the fuck is going on? Now, Cameron came down suddenly one night, put her in the head box, and led her outside, like super fast, and she was to lay down on Janice's lap while they drove. So she had no idea where they're going, and she probably thinks this is it.
Oh.
So finally, they end up at a mobile home in like a pretty secluded neighborhood, and Cameron told Colleen that this was their new place. So they moved to a more secluded neighborhood because there was less neighbors, and the house that they were living in before was rented. So like landlords could drop by at any moment.
My God.
So he was like, this isn't conducive to me having a slave, so I should
not
move.
Yeah.
So they moved. So he leads her inside to what he told her was he and Janice's bedroom, and he points out this huge bed in the room that he built himself. He's like, this is our bed. Why don't you look underneath it? So there was a small entryway on the bottom of the bed that could be covered, but for now was open so Cameron could show Colleen. This was where the box he kept her in would be placed now. And how she got into the box was she'd have to crawl through the entryway into the box.
Oh,
Yeah. So there were times that Colleen was kept in the box for months at a time, only being allowed out to eat or empty. She would have to use a bedpan in the box, so she would be let out to eat and empty that, and obviously for Cameron. But in 1981, there was actually a long stretch of time where she didn't stay in the box, and this was. But there's and throughout the trial, there's like a doctor that gets brought in. He's like a psychologist, and he says there's certain things that captors will do, and they will give you freedom, like unexplained, and you think that you've done something good, but it's just so they can take it away without explanation. So you just never know what's going to happen.
They're just yeah, that makes sense, because it's like if they're giving you consistency and a routine, then you're expecting, and you become comfortable with even if it's a fucked up routine, it's a routine that you can expect what's happening.
Your mind starts to cope somehow.
Yeah, your mind starts to like just kind of ground on earth for a minute, but then if they're constantly just ripping you out of that routine,
you
good
never
or
know.
bad, and then doing a whole different thing, that's keeping you in a constant state of like alarm,
terror,
panic, terror.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's
crazy.
Wow.
So in 1981, like I said, she got more quote unquote freedoms. She was allowed to work in the garden a lot of the time, and she was actually even allowed to go jogging. Now, this started because I don't know if she asked if she could go for a run or like he wanted her to run, but he drove her out to this like very secluded area and told her to run. And then if she stopped, he said that he was going to like hit her with the car or something. So then she grew to like enjoy jogging like later eventually. Wow. So she was allowed to go jogging without him at some points.
Wow.
But
that's how hard he had like.
And he put the company, he like shoved it down her throat. So she knew like
So she didn't. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm going to get into it in this little portion. So on one occasion, she was actually even allowed to go to a bar with Janice where they met some guys and went back to these guys' house. Because at this point, Janice and Cameron's relationship is like somewhat open because he has his person. So,
I was going to say.
Yeah. But like we were just saying, Colleen never tried to escape because there was always the reminder that the company was watching. She was told that the phones were tapped, that there was constant surveillance on the house, and even that there were some company members who lived in their new neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah. So she grew really close to the children because now there's 2 kids, and they know her as Kay. So like she basically got an entirely new identity.
And they just like knew that this woman like sometimes pops up in their house?
Yeah, she was basically like their babysitter. She would babysit them at night while Janice was working because Janice got a night job. She was like waitressing.
My goodness.
And because Cameron didn't feel like watching the kids, he would have Kay do it because Kay's right there. That's his slave.
Yeah, you're here for what I need you for.
Yeah. So she also didn't, during this period, have to sleep in the box anymore. They would, quote unquote, let her sleep in the back bathroom, but she would be chained to the toilet. Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, there was one occasion where one of the little girls walked in to the bathroom and like saw her there. And obviously Cameron didn't get mad at the kid. He got mad at Colleen and like flipped out on her and obviously beat her.
Because that's obviously her fault.
But she would have to lock the door from the inside of the bathroom, like from that point forward.
Wow.
So she would like lock herself in the bathroom because she's so
brainwashed
and
so
at this point.
indoctrinated into this.
And eventually, like later on during the trial, the defense tried to use that as like, she
didn't leave.
Right.
And it's like, yeah.
Would you?
Because that's just her being like, well, this is great, so I'm just going to stay.
Yeah, for sure. I love it here.
Clearly she is broken.
Yeah. Now this will blow your mother effing mind.
Oh, no.
Eventually, Colleen convinced Cameron to let her call her family. He let her call her family.
Oh.
Because he knows that she's not going to say anything or else she thinks he's going to kill her.
Wow.
So she did call the family and he told her if she wanted to go see them that he could arrange it, but it would take some time because he'd have to convince the company that she wasn't going to tell her family.
Oh my God.
And she wouldn't try to escape. And he said, they might even want to test you.
Oh my God.
So the day comes.
I hate that this guy has thought of everything.
It's the things that he thought of. Like, we're going to talk about one right now. I'm just like, your mind is the darkest place in the whole entire universe.
And what a waste of a mind.
Right.
Like, that could have gone
and it's so crazy.
About a billion other places if it was not evil.
This guy that like can barely read is thinking of these things.
Because even like little things, like thinking they might want to test you.
Yeah.
Like,
or even
just
giving
puts
her
another layer of like, so don't try anything because they might even be testing you.
Right. Or even give her like the card, like,
yeah,
just to like further.
Yeah. It's just, wow.
It's nuts. So the day comes to go visit her family. He arranges it. And it happened in March of 1981. But they had to stop at the company headquarters first.
Stop.
Yes. So Cameron drove out to Sacramento. He had told her all along the company headquarters are in Sacramento. And he stopped in front of some buildings that looked to be like office buildings. So he's like, I have to go in first and see what they need, and then I'll come get you. So when he came back, he like stayed in there for a while. And she's probably sitting in the car like, what the fuck is about to happen to me?
Like, are they watching?
I just want to see my family.
Yeah.
So when he came back, he said, they actually don't need to see you. You got off pretty easy. And he said to her, the secretary says, good luck.
Oh.
Like, what?
What?
So Colleen then, they drive out to see her family, and she just shows up unannounced. And her family was like, what the fuck? Like, where have you? But they don't say, like, really, where have you been? I mean, they do, but, like, they don't press it too much because they're just happy that she's alive.
Yeah.
So she told them very little. She said that she and Michael, aka Cameron, were engaged and that he was taking a computer course out this way. So she decided that's when it would be the perfect time to visit.
Oh, good. Because I was going to say, like, I understand, like, just being excited that she's there, but, like, tell me that they got
she gave
some
them
kind
a story.
I was like, because I would need to know something.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, but like I said, they didn't want to ask too many questions because this is the first time they've seen her in years and they don't want to ruin it. But they later said that they suspected that she was in a cult. Like, they thought that's why she had been gone.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Yeah. So by this point, her parents had actually been divorced and remarried. And Colleen even had younger half-siblings that she didn't know about.
Man.
So she, like, got to enjoy some time with them. don't want to say enjoy, but Cameron actually let her go to church with her mother and her sister, but then he suddenly called her and said it was time to go. Now, when he told her that they were going to go out and see her family, he made it seem like it was going to be for a weekend. So she was like really upset when it was only a 24-hour visit. But it's like, what is she going to do about it?
Yeah, what? She has no power here.
Right. And she wanted to tell them what was happening. But remember, he had told her the company would not only like beat the shit out of her, like she couldn't even fathom what they were going to do to her, but whoever she told would be killed.
Yeah, kill her whole family.
So what is, like I just said, what is she supposed to do?
And he made it like, we stopped at the company headquarters. They know where we are. They know how long we're going to be here. So if she does try to tell them, it's like they're watching.
Right.
That's what, yeah.
Right.
Under his watchful eye.
Mm-hmm. So she said her goodbyes, and she later on she remembered like really wanting to tell her mom like right then and there.
Oh my God, that hurts my soul.
But couldn't. So she heads back to the trailer with Cameron. Now when they got back, Cameron told her she'd be going back into the box. Now remember, she just had a year of freedom. She's thinking like this box shit is over with. Nope. So he raped her and put her back in the box.
Wow.
And she was actually let out to say goodbye to the kids and some of the neighbors, because at this point she had been like out jogging and the neighbors knew her as like Kay the babysitter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she had become really friendly with this couple. I think their name was the Copas, and the Copas like kind of like thought something was going on, but they didn't really know what to do about it.
How would you ever?
Right. But they were later brought to trial to like testify.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, she wanted to tell all of them what was going on, but she couldn't. So she told them all that she was moving away. And he told her if she let anything out that was happening, the company would retaliate and shit would go down.
I can't.
So this was the longest period of time that she spent in the box. And she said about this, I learned I could go anywhere in my mind. You could just remove yourself from the real situation going on and you go somewhere else. You go somewhere pleasant around people you love, whatever makes you happy. Yeah. So this is 1981 that she gets put back in the box. 1984 rolls around.
Oh my God.
So for a 3-year period, she was literally let out to eat and for when he wanted.
And she's just under a bed in a box.
And that's the other thing. She's under their bed, everyone.
Yeah.
This couple is sleeping on top of her. What?
My mind can't even go there.
What?
It can't even go there.
No.
Like, this is so grotesque that my brain does not even see it as a real situation.
3 years later, she's out, 1984, and Janice takes her around the entire neighborhood like, Kay's back. And now Kay's back in the kid's life, and they're super happy. And Colleen's relieved, but obviously very confused about why she was let out after 3 years. Well,
it's just to keep fucking with her.
But there was also another reason.
Oh, good.
Cameron wanted to build an underground dungeon, and he needed help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I thought it was something crazy.
Yeah. There you go. Just a dungeon.
Yeah.
Just an underground dungeon.
That she has to help build.
So they would go out at night he had like this small shed, and they would dig together until the space they dug out was big enough for a room. Now Cameron taught Colleen how to lay bricks, and when they were finished, this was Colleen's new place. There was a chair for her to sleep. There was room for Cameron to carry out his abuse on her. The ceiling was strong enough to like hold the chains and everything.
Wow.
He's a really good builder.
I was gonna say, Jesus.
I like wrapped this up in like a neat little bundle, but it took a while. They laid cement, they did the bricks, they had to wait for the bricks to dry.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just dig a hole and like stick some bricks in there and be like, that's a room now.
No.
Like it
took a while.
A lot.
But
that goes into that.
Finally, they finished, and that's what it was. Now, the dungeon seemed like a way better way to store Colleen, and Cameron told her that eventually there would be more girls down here with her. And actually, they built, like, they called them windows, but obviously they didn't look out to anything. But the reason that they built the windows was because eventually he said he would expand.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And the reason he wants to expand is because someday there's going to be 4 other girls down here, and you're going to be the one to train them, he told her.
Oh.
Yeah. And he also told her that someday he intended to marry her.
No.
And like she was supposed to have his children.
No.
And that eventually he would get her own trailer where she could live.
So nice.
Like.
So nice of you.
What? So.
Man.
Colleen
what a
obviously.
delusional fuck.
It's crazy. So obviously she didn't love the dungeon. That was like such a stutter. But it was more spacious than what she had been used to. And she wasn't sweltering all summer long like she had been in the box. Because she's in a box underneath a bed during the summer months. Like for those 3 years, she was either completely freezing underneath there or super, super hot.
Ugh.
And they describe it in the book. He made like a ventilation hole and put a hairdryer in there on like the cool setting for like quote unquote ventilation, but really all it did was like the noise drove her crazy. It didn't cool anything down.
No, of course not. The cool setting of a hairdryer is not like an air conditioning.
No, it's to seal your hair follicle. But oy vey, so it's better. So when it gets colder, he puts a heater down there. And Janice and Cameron at one point gifted Colleen with a Bible that she had asked for, so she was able to read that down there. But when the fall and winter came, the basement started to flood.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was one problem. And Cameron taught Colleen how to vacuum the water up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
I keep saying, but it's like, I don't even know what else to say.
No. So he's
so
like,
much.
We just have to vacuum the water up. Like, we'll figure out a way around this.
Yeah.
But then they ran into an even bigger problem. One day, the two daughters, because there's fucking children that live here, and their cousin were playing hide and seek outside. And there was like a house rule that you were never to go in any of the sheds. But their cousin was like, oh, it's fine if we go. Like,
they're kids.
Yeah, so they end up in the shed. And Janice comes out and sees the two of them looking. Because how you got into the dungeon was that there was like a hole. And you had to like climb in through that hole. And that was like the entrance and the exit. So Janice walks out and sees these little girls peering down the hole.
Oh. Just being like, why?
What's up with that?
What's in there?
So I guess it wasn't clear whether they saw Colleen or not, but yeah, that was obviously
they
a
definitely
huge
saw the room
problem. So now Janice and Cameron are worried that their niece is going to tell her parents, but nothing came of it.
What the fuck?
Nothing came of it. And I mean, the dungeon was no longer where they kept Colleen at this point, and she was put in the box again. So that's what came of it. But this time she was only put in the box for a couple of weeks while they made sure no one came looking. So when no one did come looking, they let her out of the box. And now they told her she would need to get a job to pay off like some fine that the company had charged Cameron. What? And he was like, I am already working and I can't afford to pay it, so you have to get a job now.
What?
Yeah. So Colleen got a job at King's Lodge as a maid. She was hired by the owner, Doris Myron, I believe is how you say it. And eventually they became like super close with each other. Doris obviously knew Colleen as Kay, just like everyone else at that time. And she definitely thought like Kay's living situation was weird. Because Kay said...
she had no idea.
No, she had no idea. Because at this point, Kay's sleeping in the... Colleen is sleeping in the living room. And she says that to Doris. And she's like... oh yeah, like Janice is like a sister, but like I also give her and Cameron my paychecks. And like, so Doris is like, what?
So she's like, yeah, this is strange.
Like, this is a weird arrangement. But she's like, I don't know what I can do about it other than like have myself be someone that she feels she can talk to when she needs it.
Wow.
Yeah. So Colleen, like I said, still believing in the company, never tells her boss too much personal information. And now at this time, Janice and Colleen had like a very strange relationship, obviously. Whenever she was let out in the beginning, her and Colleen would fight a lot because Janice was like jealous of Colleen.
Oh, I was waiting for that to be a thing.
That was like a whole thing. And
I didn't think this was going to be like peace and harmony amongst them.
No, and that was a major reason why in 1981 she was put back in the box.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah. Or at the end of 1981, she was put back in the box. But at this time, they'd gotten over that, and they were really starting to bond over Bible study because Janice was like a big believer in the Bible, and at this point, so was Colleen. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts on that and how backwards that is.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why Cameron...
How the fuck can you say that you're a follower of the Bible?
Well, because...
and be doing this shit.
Because Cameron, like, twists it, and I'll get into it.
Of course.
So they would read their Bible together, and while they read their Bible, they had to wear ski masks over their face, beanies, like ski beanies, because Cameron called them their prayer hats, because... I honestly know like nothing about the Bible and I didn't look too far into it, but I guess like ladies back in the day were like not supposed to be seen while they were praying.
Oh.
Yeah, so he made them wear these like hats. Wild.
Wow. Aren't those called like baklavas or... Balaclavas.
You're asking the wrong person.
Like that. I'm going to look it up while you're doing this.
Okay. So while they're studying the Bible together, they realize that they have a lot more in common than they thought. And they specifically paid attention to the story in the Bible about Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar.
Balaclava. Excuse me. They're called a balaclava.
Oh, okay. It's like a prayer hat?
No, it's not a prayer hat. Like, it's not made for that. It's just like one of those. It's almost like a ski mask type of thing.
Oh.
Like, you know, what you would like what you'd see like a robber wearing, you know.
Oh, okay,
like that kind of thing. That's what I pictured, a balaclava.
There you go.
Sorry for the interjection.
No, it's totally fine. So yeah, they're wearing their balaclavas. But like I said, they realized that they have more in common than they thought. And specifically, they paid attention to this story in the Bible about Abraham, Sarah, and I believe it's Hagar. So from what I read,
Sammy.
No. So from what I read, Sarah and Abraham are married in the Bible, but Sarah can't have a baby. So she tells Abraham he can use her maid, Hagar, as a way to have a baby. And then they can all live together like copacetically.
Wow.
So it's pretty reminiscent of their situation.
Yeah.
Now, Janice apparently leaned into this like full-fledged and would refer to herself as Sarah and call Colleen Hagar or Hagar.
Wow.
I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. They even started going to church together with their kids. Cameron didn't want to go.
No.
But they became close with the Pastor Dabney. And now they're 7 years into Colleen's imprisonment at this point when they start going to church together. And Janice is becoming more and more stressed out about this entire thing. Essentially, she's like on the verge of a nervous breakdown because she knows that this whole thing is wrong. And I mean, I think getting closer and closer to Colleen probably and like realizing they had a lot in common.
But starting to humanize their prisoners is really a problem.
Exactly what it is. And I think it's getting to her conscience at this point. Because I mean, for a long time, she was just hidden away literally in a box. Yeah. So she didn't really have to think about it, which
my God,
is a lot to even wrap your brain around.
Up.
But now she's chilling with her. So
like 15-year-old Janice, I feel bad for. And then later I'm like, fucking Janice.
Yeah. Well,
like, you're both gross.
I didn't get into it too much, but Janice was also being abused while Colleen was too.
Yeah.
He was still carrying out sex acts on her that she wasn't into.
Yeah, you know what? And that makes sense that she was like at least scared to go against him.
Yeah. He was literally like later on during the trial, they show pictures of her while she's pregnant, like hung from the ceiling. Yeah. So like she's very much a victim. Yeah. That's why I didn't really paint her too badly in like any kind of light, because I personally think, I mean, you can take this however you want to, but I think she's also a victim.
No, I mean, when you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you put together all the details of what's happening.
Yeah. Obviously what she was doing was not right, but I think that she was just way too scared to do anything else.
I think it's when you look at it through the eyes of just looking at her and being like, what are you doing? Like, you can't, like, you're an asshole. Why are you just letting this woman go through this and like not doing anything? But then you look at it in terms of abuse.
Yeah.
And she's also being abused, so she's scared of this dude.
Exactly.
And she's also being brainwashed by him. She also thinks that if she says anything or helps this woman, that it's going to be her.
Right.
So, you know what? You're right.
Like, you can be mad at her because it is kind of selfish that she's like...
Look at you just shifting my perspective mid-case.
You're welcome. Now, the sermons that Pastor Dabney would give were also not helping Janice because she's like realizing that her husband is using the Bible against her. Yeah. Because his whole thing was that woman was to do as her husband intended. That's what the Bible said. And he even started expressing to her that man could do whatever he wanted. Like, man was supposed to have multiple wives. So he's like, I want to have 4 more wives, actually.
And you have no say in it.
And you just need to let it happen.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. And she's like, actually, the Bible doesn't say that.
No.
I don't know what the Bible says at all because I've never fucking read it, but...
you know what? I haven't either.
No. But
I think it's one of those things that, you know, he's taking it to a dark place.
Yeah. So enough was enough for Janice. And on August 9th, 1984, Janice rolls up to King's Lodge and heads into one of the rooms and just tells Colleen the truth while she's in the middle of like cleaning up this motel room. She says, the company's not real. No one's watching you. This is all... So he just told you all this so you wouldn't escape. And
fucking Janice.
I want you to be able to leave. So, like, we have to get out of here.
Janice.
Yeah.
7 years ago, that would have been awesome. But, like, all right.
All right. You know, about time you came around.
Better late than never, Janice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Colleen...
That was like a plot twist. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's another plot twist later that you're going to shite.
Oh, no.
So Colleen couldn't tell Doris what was going on, so she had to finish her fucking day at work.
Oh my God, have you ever finished a shift at work where you like know some shit's going down, or you got like
yes
a you've got like a text that's very
not to this
cryptic or
degree.
something. Now imagine it to this degree.
Yeah, I think a few episodes back I was or on Scream I was complaining about how I was dating this guy, and he like told me that he was gonna break up with me but like wasn't gonna do it until after my shift basically, and like I remember having to get through a 10-hour shift knowing that. I can't imagine getting through a 10-hour shift knowing that the entire past 7 years was all a lie.
That's
of my like brutal imprisonment.
Wow.
And like now where do we go from here?
What do you do?
Turn all the lights on.
Yeah,
now.
like where do we go?
Yeah. So Doris is like, can you finish your day at work? And Colleen's like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Colleen finishes her day. Janice comes to pick her up and she's like, let's go talk to Pastor Dabney. So they tell this man everything. And this man is like, you need to get the fuck out of there. Like, go home right now, pack up all your shit and leave. Like,
Pastor Dabney.
Why did you tell me all of that? Like, He's like, pack your shit up and get out of there. Direct quote. No, not at all.
Direct quote.
He's like, pack everything that you own and get the heck up out of there.
Child.
Yes. So the only problem though was this is at the end of the day. Cameron's almost done from like with his job and he's going to be home soon.
So leave all your shit and just leave.
But the kids.
Oh, I keep forgetting there's kids
There's
involved.
two
with
children.
This.
Yeah. So, and at this
Shite.
point, like you said, one is 7 and I don't know how old the other one was, but I don't think they're that far apart in age.
My God.
They would have to get through one more night.
My God.
Yeah. So Janice actually told Cameron that she wasn't feeling well that night and she was going to sleep in the living room with Colleen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Janet's like coming through all of a sudden.
Janice, I know she
like,
is.
really coming through.
She is.
In a
But
clutch.
she'll let us down in a minute, don't worry.
Aw.
So when Cameron leaves for work the next morning, the two of them pack everything up and they take the kids to Janice's parents. Now, Colleen weighed her options because she and Janice had
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
actually talked about getting a place together, but that voice from the gas station was back and she was like,
Yeah.
no, this isn't a good idea.
No, we shouldn't continue this friendship after this.
No, this is a very toxic friendship.
This should be the end of this.
Yeah, we should not communicate anymore.
No.
So she called her dad and he wired her money. She didn't tell him everything, I think, on the phone, but she was like, I'm coming home. And he wired her money for the bus fare. And I guess in the book they say she asked for $100 and he was like, are you sure that's enough? Like, I can send you however much you want. So he was probably just ecstatic.
He's like, I will give you anything, just come home.
That she was coming home, but then she comes home and tells him everything and he's probably like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Unfathomable.
before she left, before she gets on the bus home, she called Cameron and she said, quote, "I just wanted to tell you that I'm leaving, that I know you lied about everything and you can't keep me here anymore." Like,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And apparently he cried on the phone with her.
I can't. I don't know. I have no words.
It's wild.
I'm speechless.
It's wild. So when Colleen got home, she told her family everything, and they were like, "Okay, on our way to the police now, young miss. Like,
Here we go.
Let's go." And she's like, "No. Like, Janice had asked her not to." And at this point, Colleen was like, "I just want to move on. Like, I don't want to deal with this." But Janice had actually told Colleen that she felt like she could fix Cameron and that they both owed him that chance.
Oh, Janice.
We quote, "owe him that chance,"
Janice,
unquote.
you brought me up just to bring me right back down.
Yeah. So Janice only, she's going to bring you even downer. Mm-hmm. She only spent a week with her parents before packing up her kids and taking them back to her husband.
Smart.
Where she took him to church and she was like, church will change him, but it wasn't. I guess one night she woke up and he was like awake and like just like super tense. Like she could feel how tense he was and she was like terrified. So she was like, "Let's go burn everything." Because I think she like thought like he's going to kill me. Like,
Let's go light things on fire.
So-
That'll make you feel better.
well, they burnt all of his bondage equipment, all the magazines that he had, pictures that he had taken of her and Colleen. Like they burned a ton of shit because, oh, by the way, he had a fucking dark room in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
So he had like some film and they thought they burned everything.
But they didn't.
I don't know. But Cameron wasn't changing and Janice was nearing an actual breakdown, getting closer and closer to just losing her shit every day. So she ended up telling a friend that she had recently made. I'm pretty sure this friend was like a receptionist at like a doctor's office.
Oh, cool.
But they just became really close. So she told this new friend everything about Colleen and how she was trying to change her husband, but it wasn't working and like everything.
That's when you regret like striking up a conversation about like your favorite,
That's when you look in the
Friends
mirror
episode or something.
and
with
you're
the-
like, why do I have this face?
Yeah,
Why am I approachable?
why you feel like you can spill stuff on me? I don't understand
We were
that.
just talking about that the other day.
We were.
I have one of those faces. The shit people tell me sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when I was hairdressing. I was like,
And sometimes you're like, too much.
so do you want to
Too
go a little
much.
shorter with the layers today? Help? No? Okay.
Oy.
Yeah. So her friend was like, you need to go to the police. Like,
Yeah.
And to, like, Janice was like, I don't know. Like, and so the friend was like, yeah, what's stopping him from doing this to your children? Like,
Yeah.
they're getting older. They're
Yeah.
both girls. The kids were both girls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, he hadn't done anything to them that anybody knew about, but he could be capable.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Look what he's capable of already.
He's keeping a girl in a box for 7 years.
I wouldn't put anything past him.
No. So at that point, it was the straw that broke the camel's back, and Janice went to the police and she turned her husband in. Not only for the kidnapping and 7-year imprisonment of Colleen, also for murder.
All right. What? Excuse me?
Yeah, and that's where no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, fuck you.
So, Elizabeth, I'm not sure how to say this. I looked it up and there was 42 different ways how to say it. I'm going to say, what did we agree on?
Spanicky?
Spanicky. It's Spannhake. Spanicky?
Or Spinaki.
Or Spinaki.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different pronunciations out there. But we're gonna call her Marie Elizabeth. She was 19 years old, and on January 31st, 1976, she accepted a ride from Janice and Cameron.
Oh.
Yeah. Marie, known as, I believe it's Marliz, because it's like Marie Elizabeth, so it's like her two names converging. It could be Marliz or Marlise.
Okay.
I'm going to say Marlise because it's easier.
Yeah.
So she didn't know the area well. She had moved from California to, she had moved to California from Cleveland in December of 1975 to live with her fiance, and his name was John Baruth. Now, the reason she was walking that day was because her and John were out on a shopping trip, and they had gotten into like some kind of fight, and she decided to walk home. Oh. Yeah. Now, when she didn't return home that night, John was like super worried. And by February 2nd, she still hadn't shown up and nobody had heard from her. So he went to file a missing persons report. And actually, for a long time, he was considered a person of interest, but he passed polygraphs and there was no evidence that he had done anything. No evidence at all, really, of anything. So they had to let him go. But what really happened is that Cameron was out hunting with Janice and they both spotted Marie and they drove her to where she asked to be driven. But as she was getting out of the car, Cameron grabbed her by her hair and pulled her back into the car.
What?
Yes. So he abducted her in like the same exact manner as Colleen. He drove out to a remote area, he held her at knife point, and he used the head box on her too. He and Janice even stopped for fast food on the way home, just like when they kidnapped Colleen.
What a weird fucking tradition, like ritual.
It's because they're waiting for the sun to go down.
Yeah.
So, but it's also just like fucked. But when they got back home, Cameron took Marie into the basement, hung her up, assaulted her, and actually, this is horrifying, tried to cut her vocal cords.
What?
Yes.
This dude is beyond.
To cut her vocal cords. And she later asked for a pencil and paper because she wanted to tell him something, but she couldn't speak. So she wrote on the paper something like, I'll give you whatever you want if you just let me go. Or like, I saw two things. I saw that and then I saw, let me call my boyfriend so like he'll give you like money or whatever you want.
Wow.
Yeah, but Cameron didn't. So according to Janice, he shot Marie in the stomach with a pellet gun twice and then strangled her and he killed her. So
wow.
Janice thought that he killed her because he had lost control of the situation because I guess she was bleeding a lot, obviously bleeding a lot after he had tried to cut her vocal cords and he just felt like he had like messed up. So it was like way damaged. Fixing it was killing her. Yeah.
Wow.
So he goes up and gets Janice and is like, we need to clean this up. So he made her roll up Marie's body with him in like a tarp. They drove out to Lassen Park in Reading and dug a grave to place her body in. And then they just left her there, but not before Cameron took her gold watch. And I guess he would wear it every single day, but it got destroyed in like machinery at the mill at one point.
My God.
Yeah.
And she's just telling like police this, like, well...
And at this point, this girl has been missing for like over 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, what? Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So Janice tried to help investigators find Marie's body. But when they had buried her, it was snowing. And now she was like, I don't know where she is. So they were never able to recover her body.
Oh, that's even worse, I feel like.
Yeah. And so eventually when the trial gets going, the prosecutors call John Baruth and they're like, hey, just so you know, like, we're pretty sure, like, we have the guy that killed her, like, just so you're aware. And he was, like, so thankful for that. And he was like, thank you so much, because Marie's parents died thinking that he was the one that killed her.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And he's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this guy also murdered someone.
All right.
Yeah. So Cameron, and actually I'm going to go back to that a little bit later at the end. So just... It's not a fun thing, but it's like an interesting thing. So Cameron was arrested on November 18th, and he was charged with multiple counts of kidnapping, sodomy, and rape. But like I said, they couldn't use the murder case because there's no body, there's no evidence, there's nothing.
Yeah, this is just
they know he did it, but... So the judge on the case, Clarence Knight, said Hooker was, quote, the most dangerous psychopath I have ever dealt with, and that he is the opposite of what one seems. He will be a danger to women as long as he is alive, and I intend to sentence the maximum possible.
Yeah.
So the defense did their best to make Colleen look like she was a willing participant. They even had Cameron go on the stand to like defend himself at one point, and he said when he abducted her, he was just trying to get her off drugs. He had found drugs in her purse, and then he kept her and was like trying to help her. He did plead guilty to kidnapping. He said like he wanted to kidnap somebody, but after that he said their relationship was like platonic.
After I kidnapped her,
it got super,
shit was so real.
It's like we just hit it off.
Yeah,
you know?
we did.
But the problem,
meet cute.
It was a tough case, and I didn't go super into the case because it's like you with the Willie Picton case.
Yeah.
I really want you guys to go read the book.
Yeah.
Perfect Victim.
Yeah. There's just some books that like give you such a wealth of information.
Yeah.
And you want to use they give you the bones that you need, but like,
right. You don't want to take their meat.
You don't want to take their meat because they worked really hard for that meat.
Because the thing about this case is I did get a lot of information from just like online articles, but the best information I got was from this book. And It's amazing.
Yeah.
So like I said, the defense tried to paint her horribly, but what was tough was that Colleen had actually written letters and like spoken on the phone with Cameron after she got home.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of them did seem like love letters, but then they had like psychiatrists and stuff like that come on trial and were like, yeah, like she was brainwashed. Like it takes a while to get out of that.
Is a funny thing.
Yes, but luckily the prosecution did a better job. They like caught Cameron in a couple lies while he was on stand. He would like contradict himself.
Of course.
And he ended up receiving 104 years in prison. Yay. Now, he actually called Colleen 3 days after his conviction, and he said, "This is Cameron. I called so you can chew my butt out or say whatever you want to me."
So you can chew my butt out?
Chew my butt out, yeah. And
Fuck
she
you,
was like, "I don't have anything to say to you.
I don't
Like,
want to chew your butt out.
don't call me ever again."
Fuck off.
And actually, Christine McGuire, who, like I said, co-wrote the book The Perfect Victim, she like made it so that he would never be able to contact
Good,
Colleen
because he
again.
shouldn't be able to.
And Janice filed for divorce in January of 86.
Wow.
And by all accounts, like, I think Colleen definitely struggled a little bit. She had children and stuff like that, and she was able to move on, but it seems like she's doing a lot better. She had, like I said, like shoulder and back pain for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
And the thing that I was going to say, save for last, so that's the end of it. But when I was looking into the Marie Elizabeth kidnapping, the first thing that came up was like this psychic thing. So this woman, I believe her name was Jodie Foster, which is hilarious. And she had a daughter, Hannah, and they had moved into Marie's old apartment that like she had shared with John. Ooh. And, that just scared me.
Creepy.
The door closed downstairs. And her daughter, Hannah, started talking about my friend, Mare Liz.
Stop.
And started like drawing pictures of her, and all the pictures she would draw was the girl, and she had like her like flipped hair because it was like the 70s.
Yeah.
And in a white sweater and like I believe blue jeans. I'm not sure what color jeans, but that's how she would draw her.
Wow.
And then so she like the little girl would draw her friend, and then Jodie herself started having all these like crazy dreams and stuff, like very vivid dreams. And in one of the last dreams that she had in the apartment was a girl being brought down into a basement, hung up, and shot twice in the stomach.
Stop.
Just like Janice had told the investigators.
That shit is so weird.
And so this lady didn't know anything about this case and thought that she was literally going insane.
Yeah.
She had actually called the police at one point. She was like, "I don't know like what to report to you, but like
But I feel like I have to tell you."
So she ended up moving out of the apartment, and when she was either moving out of the apartment or she was like talking to a neighbor about something, and the neighbor said to her, "Oh, you have Marie Elizabeth Spanicki's. That's her apartment."
Oh my God.
And he was like, "Other people who have lived in that apartment have had those dreams."
Wow, that's insane.
Yes.
That's so spooky.
Isn't that bonkers?
This case.
So yeah,
This case has everything terrible.
everything terrible. And to be honest with you, that was really just an overview because it would break your mind in half if you weren't a willing participant to hear everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Seriously, like I think it's $2 on Kindle Cloud Reader, and you can use that on your computer. You don't need a Kindle. Yeah. Go get The Perfect Victim on Amazon. It is such a good read. I read it in 2 days.
There's so many true crime books that are like just grossly underappreciated.
Seriously.
And once you find them for these kind of cases, it's just like, whoa.
And what I like about this book, I'm a big fan of books, and actually it's like the one that you're reading, that go back and forth with the point of view. And this book goes, and I think a book like this is necessary to go back and forth because it starts off with like Colleen getting abducted and stuff, and then it goes into who Cameron and Janice are, and then it actually like it starts talking about all the abuse that she went through, but then it breaks into like when the defense and the prosecution and the investigators start working on the case.
I like that.
And then it goes back to like, and then it was 1981 and this is what was happening, but it keeps going back and forth between those two things.
Yeah, that's kind of how On the Farm is with it does that too. It like goes back and then it will go into like what was happening at the time. I like that.
Because with a case like Willie Pickton or a case like this, it's just so brutal that you almost need that break.
Yeah. And you need to have like a sense of like
it's
the
being taken care of,
the time frame, the other shit that was going down at that time, just to get like a full feeling of like enveloping yourself in it.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like these authors and
Seriously.
journalists and Yeah. So that was unreal.
Bonkers.
You did a great job presenting it.
Thank you. I had no idea that there was also a murder involved.
I had no idea.
I've heard about the girl in the box
Me too.
case like a million times, and I knew an overview of
But
it.
I never knew that part.
I never knew that he was a murderer and is not, unfortunately, in jail for murder. Wow. But they know that he did it.
Yeah. Thank goodness he's in jail forever.
Yeah, seriously.
But wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, everybody.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Wow, Patronuses. That was a doozy.
Yeah. It's for everyone. Oh, I was like, this is for everyone.
No, but
they
chose
picked it. At the end of the case, I'm just like brain dead.
This is for everyone.
This is all inclusive.
It's just chosen by your Patronuses.
Exactly. So yeah, and then luckily your third episode is going to be a little lighter.
It is.
It's still pretty bleak.
Very lighter and like, it's not really lighter.
It's not lighter. It's just different.
It involves some lighter material.
Yes.
It has like an element where you go, yeah.
Oh.
And then I go, oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then we'll go, oh. Again.
And then it really ends on, oh.
And who knows, we might have a special guest.
We might.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. Well, in the meantime, while you're staying tuned, follow us on Instagram.
At Morbid Podcast.
Hit us up on Twitter.
At a Morbid Podcast.
Send us a Gmail.
morbidpodcast@gmail.com.
And we hope you keep listening.
We hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not so weird that you...
not don't just don't
Beep boop pop. Not so...
Still waiting in line? Again? That's time you'll never get back. Save time and money with Stamps.com. Over 4 million businesses have skipped the line with Stamps.com. Join them to save up to 90% off carrier rates from your computer or phone right now. Print postage for certified mail, registered mail, and packages in seconds. Then schedule a pickup right from your home or office. For a limited time, go to Stamps.com and use code PODCAST for a free welcome gift. Taxes and fees apply.
Ever ask yourself, why do some pads feel so crunchy? Meet Kotex Bamboo, the pad changing the game when it comes to comfort. Kotex Bamboo is gentle on skin with a breathable viscose top layer made from bamboo, so you can really feel the difference. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the all-new Kotex, completely redesigned to meet your needs. You asked, we heard.